Hello everyone, and welcome to Waveclear, your MOBA Newscast. I'm Tsetzuko, the MOBA Division Director for Grievance Gaming, and I am joined today by Chilled. Chilled, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi all, I'm Chilled Veins. I help out in the Arcage Division of Grievance. I'm the PvP officer, or better known as Warlord. I like to play MOBAs on my off time, when I can find some.
Warlord.
Yeah, strategies 101.
Alright, so we've got some MOBA news for you, and we've got some MOBA Division news for you as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to kick things off, and we're going to start with League of Legends. So League of Legends is prototyping a party reward system similar to what they have in Heroes of the Storm, if you've played that, kind of where if you play with your friends, you get a bonus, and in this case, you get bonus IP. So they've been doing a sort of test session for these party rewards, and then they're going to take them down, crunch the numbers, and give us some more news on when that stuff is going to be coming out. But currently, if you play with a full team, a full party of 5 friends, you get 16 times the IP, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a big number.
That's a huge amount. So we'll see. I don't know if they're going to keep that at 16. That seems a little ridiculous. But they're doing the test. They're crunching the numbers, and we'll see what happens. So next up, Chill's going to talk about the upcoming League character, Bard, the Wandering Caretaker.
Yeah, from what I can tell, he's actually going to be highly versatile and mobile. Some of his skills include Traveler's Call. Basically, he's got to go find a chime. Once he finds a chime, he finds a little spirit called Meep. Then got Comics Binding. Stuns targets for a couple of seconds. Caretaker's Shrine is kind of like a heal. Magical Journey is a teleport, but you got to be careful where you use it, because not only can you use it, your opponents can too. And then Tempered Fate seems like it's going to be a pain, because it not only freezes your enemies and your enemy minions, but it freezes your allies and those minions also.
Now, I gotta say that the Magical Journey totally looks like Janus's move from Smite, or Janus, who basically is able to put these portals up on walls that you could jump through. That's exactly what this looks like. So
yeah.
Way to steal that, League of Legends. But I mean, come on. There's always overlap, right?
Yeah, part of his gameplay is he's actually the first support character that gains advantages from playing solo. Basically, he's a support jungle character. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Yeah, he looks really strange. I mean, everything they're saying is that he's basically a roamer. He's a wanderer, and that's his job, is kind of just to wander around and support people wherever. So
yeah, and his synergies are Cataline, Urdra, and Anumu. Those are the best people he works with. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying him out. I mean, I'm someone who I don't buy the new champions right off the bat. I always wait till they go on sale. So either he'll be in the free rotation, or I'll buy him in like 8 months when he goes on sale.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bamkin says he's a support roamer, and they're trying to infuse more action into the game. Could use it. So, as cool as Bard is, I don't know if he can really distract from DJ Sona.
Yeah.
Like, come on. This is the newest top tier skin that's coming out in League of Legends. This is on the same level as what's the Ezreal skin? The really crazy one where he transforms and everything.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, DJ Sona actually changes the music that you hear when you're playing the game, depending on what style you pick. And this, it changes her skin, it changes the music, it changes the way her abilities look, and you can see she's got a couple of different She's got 3 different styles here. She's got concussive, kinetic, and what's the other one? Electronic or something like that, I think.
I think
ethereal.
so.
That's it. Kinetic, concussive, and ethereal. So this is a new, like I said, top 10 super expensive skin that is, I believe, it's out right now. So
yeah.
If I was still really into League of Legends and had the cash to throw around, I'd pick it up. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, definitely one of those. It's more of an eye candy than a battle skin.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Bam. Hey, Squigs. Hey, Nionia. Hey, Steel. Gotta say hello to everybody in chat.
Yeah.
Alright, so, and then we also have a big 5.4 patch that's released. So we're going to touch on a couple of big things from the patch. Chilled's going to handle that for us.
Okay, they've got some champion changes. The 2 that I noticed the most so far have been Mordekaiser. He gets cooldown reductions and damage boosts all over the page. And then down with Vigar also, he gets a bunch of cooldown reductions and range increases.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Other than that, not much else happening. Oh, I missed one. Zaylen gets one too. He gets a damage and cooldown and cost reduction. They removed his rewind. Rewind no longer reduces cooldown of Chrono Shift,
which is his ultimate. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
see what they have to put in place there. Updated splashes for Katarina and Tristana.
And then they do need a lot of changes to some summoner spells here, right? Smite and Revive.
Yeah, just 2 of them.
Because you said Revive's just gone.
Yeah, they removed it completely.
Do you know anyone that ever used it?
I know some of the big competitors did, and what was it, the League or the World Cup? That some of those guys might have used it, but it really wasn't that well picked. They figured just let the cooldown ride and have teleport and ignite.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they didn't really put any reasoning in the patch notes for why it's gone, but it's kind of like, I see it and I go, that doesn't really change things, in my opinion.
Yeah. Couple of fun things happening in Summoner's Rift. They finally found the file that contains the minions' deaths. There are now 4 different animations for minions when they die based on how you killed them. I think that's the only real fun one to pull up there.
Yeah, I think outside of that, it's just DJ Sona skin.
Yeah.
Right? So
they did fix a couple of bugs, but nothing really too much.
Alright, so that's the league news. Big patch this past month. New character on the way. Awesome new expensive shiny DJ Sona skin, and they're testing out some new stuff with these 16 times IP rewards, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring us to Smite, which also had huge updates in the past month. And the biggest one was the Season 2 changes, and I think that Smite kind of took a key from League of Legends and how League of Legends, they updated Summoner's Rift and stuff like that. And Smite kind of went full bar and just did that with their Conquest map as well. So lots and lots of notes in here about what happened in Season 2. The majority of the stuff was focused on Conquest. We got some God updates and things like that. But what we're going to take a look at is the changes that they actually made to the Conquest map, which are here. So they did several things. Okay, the first thing that they did was they added in these huge visual landmarks for the different bases. So now instead of just having, kind of like the Guardian sitting back there, you have these huge visual cues. This is a big thing that they wanted to do, was add a lot of visual cues to the map so you kind of knew where you were. Kind of like League did, where they have like one side is all green and one side's kind of like brown, fall looking. Well, they have chaos and order. So we have the big chaos base with the volcano and stuff, and then you'll see that the order base is all pretty and shiny, and I think it has like Mount Olympus behind it.
Whereas the other one has like the gates of hell.
Yeah. So you've got those visual cues, and that was a big part of what they did in this patch, was to just add those visual cues in. The next thing is, like I said, the themed zones. They did the same thing, like what I was just talking about. So we got Chaos in the Order base, and then we have Zone 3 and 4, which is the Chaos base side of the map, actually has lots of like fire and lava, and you can see the trees kind of like burning, and there's ash everywhere.
Yeah.
And then if
last
you
time
look at... Go ahead.
Last time I played a practice match on the updated map, that was actually really cool. How they went from one side being alive to the other side being dead, and the middle just kind of melts it together really well.
Mm-hmm. And so that's on the Order side. Like you said, everything is alive and healthy, and looks really nice. So once again, just kind of updating the visual cues there. And then they updated the gameplay objectives. So the Cyclops, the towers, everything kind of got a nice visual upgrade.
They even added one, if I remember right.
Yeah, they changed one of the buffs. They changed the speed buff. Yeah, now it's...
They split. One's attack speed, one's just speed.
Just movement speed. Yeah, so we have the damage buff still, we've got the mana buff, the speed buff, and the damage buff now incorporates attack speed, whereas here's the attack speed one. Depends on the map that you're in. So 4 new buffs. They updated the Cyclopses so you can kind of tell based on the colors, like what buff they have, to make it a little bit more noticeable right off the bat. They updated the towers as well.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Not just wooden; they're actual stone now.
Mm-hmm. And they fall apart as they take damage. Once again, I think they took a lot of cues from League of Legends in what they did here. They also gave the Fire Giant, I believe the Fire Giant has like an intro now, where he kind of comes out of this box. So once again, like I said, taking cues from League of Legends, they did this with Baron and the Dragon and stuff when they updated the map as well.
I haven't fought the Fire Giant yet in the new map, so definitely interesting.
And then they updated the Phoenixes, so the Phoenixes now actually look like, it's kind of hard to see, but they look like birds now instead of just sort of like fiery things.
Yeah. Yeah, then the Gold Fairy got an update too. Looks more like a harpy than a solid gold mass of moving objects.
Yeah. So all in all, they did a lot of visual updates, like I said. And they changed, I believe they changed quite a bit of things in the jungle, some items, some characters, stuff like that. But Season 2 is officially underway, so lots of big things going in Smite, including a new champion, or a new god, that Schild's going to talk about here.
Yeah, her name is, I'm going to probably butcher this, Bellona?
Yeah, it's Bellona. I always think... Yeah. It's terrible. I think she looks really cool. But I always think baloney when I hear her name.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
That's what I was thinking. So, Bellona, she's got quite the passive's kind of nice. Master of War increases protection, but she loses movement speed for every stack with a maximum of 5 stacks. So she can lose up to 30% movement speed. Nope, my bad, that's gain. Then Shield Bash, kind of cool about her is she actually switches weapons depending on the ability she uses.
Yep.
So Yeah, so shield bash, she starts out with just a sword and shield. Bludgeon, she switched out to a hammer, and she uses that until use another ability. Then go to Scourge, which basically is a giant whip. And then her ult is Eagle's Rally, where she plants a Roman flag in the ground that grants protection and hurts enemy gods.
Yeah, she just looks like so much fun. I love the weapon swapping thing. It's just really cool. I watched one of the developers playing her, and I'm really excited to get to play her. I haven't played her yet. I'll get her in ARAM eventually, though. Or Assault, sorry.
Yeah. I've got the Ultimate God package, so I get her for free.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to try her in a practice match or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you like playing Smite and you don't have the Ultimate God pack, you've made a mistake.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely worth it. I think, what is it, $30 now for that?
Mm-hmm. And you get every god that they're ever going to release ever for essentially, for free when it comes out. So there's one other big thing in this patch, right?
Yeah, the god Ymir, he gets a model update. Instead of looking all chunky and blocky, pointed ice type, I think they kind of smoothed him out. I haven't seen it quite yet myself.
He still looks. They did a really good job of updating him, but kind of making him look exactly the same. You look at him, and at first you're like, I don't even. Oh yeah, I guess he's not blocky. You know what I mean? They did a really good job at that, I think.
Yeah.
So he does look pretty good. Someone in chat's asking about Infinite Crisis. I'll mention Infinite Crisis at the end.
That's no touch to your Death Star.
Yeah, well, I'll throw out some thoughts on Infinite Crisis at the end of the show here. So lots of stuff in Smite. It's February, right? It's a huge month for everybody.
Well, actually, it's March now, so.
Well, we're covering February's news and a little bit of March. We're actually kind of cheating and covering some PAX stuff in this, which actually brings us to Heroes of the Storm, which had a huge panel done at PAX. So we're going to go over some news for Heroes of the Storm.
Okay. Start out with the Love Bug. Basically, they got a Nubarak, skin. He looks like a ladybug, kind of February themed. Trying to, who is that? It's from StarCraft.
It's looks like Zagara.
Trying to charm Zagara.
Now, have you played a Nubarak?
No, I haven't yet. It looks like he'd be pretty fun to play.
This video is hilarious. He is pretty fun. I like him. I'm a big fan of warriors in Heroes of the Storm, so anytime they add a new warrior, I'm in on it.
Yeah, I've only played as Raynor, Diablo, and starts with a T.
The elf.
I can't remember the name. Yeah, the Night Elf.
Tyrandel. I don't remember. It's something. Yeah, it's Tyr something.
Yeah.
So, and then another thing is, we mentioned this in the last newscast, I think, but the Lost Vikings are officially released now, and I actually got to play around with them Tyrand. Thanks, Squigs. Or Tyrandy. I don't know how you pronounce it, whatever. So Lost Vikings are out. I got to mess around with them a little bit today, and they are very weird. So basically you have... I'll go ahead and I'll play this video, see if anything pops up. I know it's not the biggest thing on the stream, but it's just there for kind of a frame of reference. So you basically have these three guys, and you can move them as one, kind of like a squad in maybe like the Warhammer RTS games or something, or so you can move them as one, but then you can also push 1, 2, or 3 to select 1, 2, 3, whichever one you want. So each one's assigned to a number key. So you can actually push 1, and you will control Olaf, the blue guy in this video, and you can make him run off and go do his own thing. And then you could hit 2, select the next guy, make him go a completely different place and do his own thing. And then if you hit 4, it groups them all back together to you so that when you're, if you right-click to move, they'll all move to that spot. So you can control them together or you control them individually. And then your talents that you have allow you to either augment what they already do or actually gain some abilities. So, for example, Olaf, the blue guy, his thing is that he's tougher than the other Vikings. And when you right-click on someone to attack them, like every 8 seconds he'll charge with his shield and attack them. So you can make it so that like he'll block basic attacks, or you can make it so that maybe his charge does some more damage. But these are all things that you don't mash any buttons to do. It's just all automatically built into it. Or alternatively, you could pick a talent where it's like, okay, this is a move where all the Vikings jump in the air and become immune for 2 seconds, and that becomes your Q ability. So it's really strange, really different. Really, really weird.
Definitely worth trying.
Farron here says Lost Vikings is an old game. I know. I played it. I love the Lost Vikings. So.
Yeah, I could figure out where they came from. It was before my time.
I don't know. I just remember booting up my grandma's computer for like half an hour and then playing like Doom and Lost Vikings and Wolfenstein.
I remember Doom.
So yeah, they're old school, but yeah, they're out. They're very interesting, and don't forget you can always go in the store and try them out on the test map if you're not sure about them. So next,
nice.
Another skin.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is right around the corner in New Orleans. So, as kind of a New Orleans theme, they gave the Witch Doctor, Nazubu, skin. Festival-themed skin. So, basically, if you ever played Diablo, he shows up in, 3?
Yeah.
Or is it all of them? I can't remember.
I don't know. He's definitely in Diablo 3, though. I think most of the characters are from Diablo 3.
Yeah, but yeah, they give him the Harlequin Nazubu pack or bundle, and it's basically his skin and everything. But also looks like his zombies that he summons up get a cool skin also when you have it equipped. Thank you, Obi-Wan. Just D3.
Yeah, so pretty much everything just has sort of like a Mardi Gras theme to it. So
yeah,
and then
definitely fun.
Even more skins. There's Tempest Regalia Jaina and Zerg Hunter Zeratul. So if you're a fan of these to me they don't look that different than the normal skins. I don't know. Like you look at this one where it's like, oh, crazy Mardi Gras stuff. Then you look at these and you're like, okay. So those are out.
Yeah.
Other news, they're coming out with a new way to invite your friends, right?
Yeah. I barely skimmed over this, but basically there's soon be a method for sharing closed beta testing invitations with your buddies. And yeah.
So it says that a number of players will receive an email containing 4 Heroes of the Storm beta keys. So, if you get one of those emails and you don't know what to do with those beta keys, please send them to me. I can get in touch with people who would love to play Heroes of the Storm, and I can send them out. And if I get any myself or whatever, I'll probably end up giving them away either on MOBA Mondays for people watching the stream or during Waveclear Newscast, something like that. But the big news is just more keys. There's more keys coming. So
yeah. So what does it say? Something about the founder package game? Oh yeah, if you get a founders package, you automatically gain a Heroes of the Storm closed beta.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you a couple of mounts with it and everything. It's kind of cool.
Yep, and that brings us to the fact that there are some mount changes coming to the in-game shop. Most notably, the Dire Wolf and Cyber Wolf mounts are going to be leaving the in-game shop soon. And I believe it was the the Lunar Tiger and the Magic Carpet are returning to the shop in the next patch as well. So we got 2 mounts going out, 2 mounts coming in. So make sure if you want the Dire Wolf or the Cyber Wolf mount that you go ahead and pick those up before the next patch, and that if you have been wanting the Lunar Tiger or the Magic Carpet, which I think the Lunar Tiger is awesome, I just didn't want to buy the whole Lunar bundle to get him. Those are going to be coming back in the next patch as well, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
And then the big. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying the Lunar Tiger looks really cool.
Yeah, I think the carpet's cool too. It's got that snake on the front, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the heroes news that's like as big as every other piece of news we've had for the other games is the PAX East panel, right?
Yeah.
So many things here.
Oh yes.
First up, we got a new map coming, right?
Yeah. Looks like a 3-lane map from. No, just 2. Is it 2-lane?
It's 3-lane. It just has some of the lanes are really. The whole thing about this map is it's tiny. It's a tiny map, and it's called the Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, read over it briefly, and basically what it is you kill minions, they drop gems, you take the gems back to your base, and it summons, what are those undead spiders, or those spider guys from World of Warcraft.
Somebody tell us, what are they? What are those things called? They're all over the Blood Elf starting zone, right?
Yeah, web weavers. Okay. But yeah, summon up some web weavers and everything, and they go through and they just destroy minions. But kind of an ironic thing, though, is if an opponent kills you, the opponent can't pick up the gems. So what they want to try and do is kill you as close as possible to their base, so that you can't get those. Your allies can't get over to those gems and pick them up.
Gotcha.
So it's got to be a slight strategy to it too.
Yeah, and like I said, the big thing about this map is it's just tiny. Like, you can literally see another lane on the screen at the same time as, when you're in your lane, you can see another lane. So it's tiny. It looks cool. This, I think, is definitely more my speed as far as, maps go, because I'm all about team fighting. And so this looks like a map where you're going to have just constant team fights because of how small it is. So,
if it's definitely a 5-champion map, 2 of those it'll be one champion on each lane so far. Then game 3, just depending on how bad the fight gets.
Mm-hmm. So the other big thing, but the other big thing really is the fact that they have announced the next hero for Heroes of the Storm. And that is Sylvanas. She is classified as a specialist. She does DPS and siege damage. She's got some burst damage. She's able to corrupt and curse towers and minions and shut them down and stuff like that. And I gotta say, she looks pretty cool.
Did you ever know the actual back history on Sylvanas?
Yeah, I've read it a few times.
Yeah, actually, you get to play as her in, was it Warcraft 3? Yeah. Right before the Lich King turns her into a lynch.
Yeah, it's been so long since I played Warcraft 3. I barely remember anything. I just remember always picking the trees when I played as the Night Elves. But she's got a couple different abilities. They only showed off her, they showed off her ultimates. So her first one is called Wailing Arrow, that shoots a special arrow that explodes for heavy AoE damage and silences enemies for 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds.
You can do a lot of damage in that.
Yeah, that's huge. And then her second is called Possession, where she forces an enemy, minion, or mercenary to fight for you, which is So targets gain bonus health and deal more damage while serving the Banshee Queen. The more powerful the target you steal, the longer you'll have to wait to use the ability again. So there's strategy in who you recruit. I don't think so. I think they're going to send that giant boss mercenary, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to spend my ult on that guy.
Yeah. I could see that come in handy on Raven's Court, where you can take control of that golem that you get the, not Raven's Court, but the Boneyard.
No, I don't think that would count. I think it says minion or mercenary. I think he's like the map mechanic. So that would be way too OP if you too overpowered.
Oh yeah,
if you could just
but it's worth a thought.
That would be ridiculous. There would be so many people rage quitting over that.
Oh yeah, Sylvanas would be banned instantly then from any competitive play.
Oh yeah. So then there's a lot of game system updates coming. You can see here a little glance at the post-game or screen. Or this isn't the post-game screen, sorry. This is the main screen. Some updates they have here showing kind of like your level and your hero league and what level you are with the champion that you have selected and stuff like that. So they're doing a big update on the UI. This is the post game screen that they're gonna have. They're finally gonna have something where you can see. I always thought it was funny. You can hit tab in the game and see like, oh, I've done this much hero damage, and then when the game's over, it all goes away, and you're like, well, I'd like to see my stats. So they're bringing that in pretty soon. And then there's something about clans, right? And
under the Play Nice, Play Fair. They're actually implementing 3 systems. One's a mute allies, so if you just want to focus on what's happening, you can mute your allies and just focus on gameplay and the pings where they put them.
That's what they say, but we know what it's for. It's for when your team's raging at you. You can just mute them.
Yeah. Then they're thinking about adding a clan system. They're still under development and everything, but they want our input on it. What other people might say yes or no. Do you want to stay with just your buddies or start forming a clan to help out with everything?
And see,
so it'd definitely be interesting.
Yeah, as MOBA director, this is kind of something that I have my eye on a lot. And like, for example, League of Legends has nothing. So there's no way to organize people in game. And then Smite has you have ranked teams in League. That's about the best.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay. Smite actually has a clan system, but it does nothing. All it does is group you together. Like, they have ranks where you can have like an officer and stuff like that, but they don't actually do anything. There's no privileges. There's no perks to being in a clan other than it's like a big sort of friends list. So I think that Blizzard, with all their MMO experience and things like that, they're probably going to get clans right and make you want to be in a clan. I think that will actually help us out a lot as far as finding more people for to play with us in the MOBA division.
Oh yeah.
So
it'll definitely be interesting to see what they come up with.
Oh yeah. And then so the last thing.
Rating system, my bad. They want to hear feedback from players, like ideas for a rating system for individual players instead of just the hero system or the hero league and everything. Want to see if we could add in like probably a tier system. That'd definitely be interesting.
And I kind of wonder how that goes. I mean, like, League has the thing where you can say, like, nice teamwork or helpful person or whatever. But, I mean, at the other hand, I think as long as the ratings are positive, if they don't offer negative ratings, you're good. Then people only have the opportunity to say something good about you. If they put one bad option in there, I guarantee you that ragers are just going to ping everybody.
League has that, and I've never actually used it, but yeah.
So then there's a couple other things that they're talking about. More gold is coming in an upcoming patch, and things like that. Nothing too big, but as you can see, lots and lots of news for Heroes of the Storm. New map, new character, new skins, new keys and invites coming out. All kinds of stuff in store for Heroes of the Storm. That's also our game of the month for March, so we're going to be playing that at our MOBA Mondays throughout the month. And, that said, we got one piece of news for Gigantic.
Yes. Gigantic is now exclusive Windows 10 and Xbox One. So Gigantic's partnered up with Microsoft basically, and see how far it can go. Gigantic actually looks like it could be pretty fun. I have yet to play any of it.
Oh, most people don't, because it's in closed alpha.
Of course.
It does say it's going to be exclusive with Windows 10, but from what I understand, Windows 10 is going to be a free update. But they have literally said that in the future, if you do not have Windows 10, you cannot play Gigantic. So if you have Windows 8, Windows 7, you can't play it. You have to have Windows 10. So I don't know. This seems like really, really weird to me. But, I mean, you can play it if you have an Xbox One. But pretty much, if you don't like Windows 10, you don't want to upgrade to Windows 10, then you can't play Gigantic. So,
yeah, even though there's a lot of hype about this game.
Yeah, and I don't know. Hopefully, it won't be that big of a deal, and we can continue on. But if it becomes an issue where there's more people on the fence about playing it, then we'll see at the end of the year where everything stands and what we're gonna do about it.
Yeah.
So. Moving on to some MOBA Division news. Let me check the chat real quick. I know we saw a couple of questions. Let's see. Vandrex wanted to know if it lists any of the benefits from being in a clan in Heroes. No, it doesn't. It said that they want it to be rewarding, but it didn't list anything specifically.
Yeah.
I think that's the only question we got right now. So, MOBA Division. This month we are going to be having our first Pioneer Night. This is something that I mentioned back in my 2015 overview for the MOBA Division. So Pioneer Night is essentially a night where we go off and do something different that isn't part of the core 4 games that we're playing, or isn't a MOBA Monday. So sometime this month, keep an eye on the MOBA Division calendar and our Slack and stuff like that, which I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. We are going to be having a Pioneer Night, and we're going to be playing Strife. This is a free-to-play, as always, MOBA that's in development by the people who did Heroes of New Earth. It's very, very, very new player friendly. Pretty cool. So go to strife.com if you don't already have an account. Get it downloaded. Definitely join us. Like I said, it's most likely going to be on a Friday. Just keep an eye on the calendar. I'll also put a post up in the forums announcing when that's going to be happening. So, in addition to that, this has been announced on the forums and everything else. We have moved from GroupMe over to Slack. If you're not familiar with Slack, it's basically a group communication tool that you can use. We use it to spontaneously get groups together, to send out event reminders, things like that. You can just Google Slack, slack.com. This is what we're talking about. This is an app you can get on your phone, and you can also use the desktop version of the app. So if you're not part of the Grievance MOBA Slack, definitely send me a message on the forums, and I will get you invited. Also, we have a Grievance MOBA Division calendar, which just shows all the events that are going on coming up, and this includes MOBA Mondays, spontaneous game nights that we have. We know Method, who is our squad leader for Heroes of the Storm, when he posts game nights and stuff like that. All that stuff is going to be on the calendar. There's a post up in the forums about that as well, so make sure you check it out. Sometime this month, I'm going to actually be consolidating and updating all the information contained in the different forum posts that we have into one big post. So there's one post for you to click on to get all the information you need about the MOBA Division. So that's coming up. So Slack. get Slack if you don't have it. It's a great way to keep in communication with us. The calendar, make sure you bookmark that via the link in the forum. And keep an eye out for Strife for our Pioneer Night, where we're going to be playing Strife. So once again, slack.com, strife.com, forum post for the calendar. Let's see, you got some more questions in here. How's it going, Ionia?
Ionia said Gigantic tweeted her fan art out today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
right,
Shameless Pug.
Let's pull this up.
View that.
Let's pull it up.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier.
There we go.
Definitely cool.
Let's see if I can... I'm going to get this over here. Alright. Make sure this pops up on stream. So this is... Ionia, this is Clay, correct? That's pretty bad, eh? I gotta say, that's pretty dang cool. So that is Sven, I believe is his name, from Gigantic. Let's see. Yeah, that's awesome.
And
Go
if
Ionia.
I remember, thoughts on Infinite Crisis? I remember Death Star mentioned something about that.
Right. So I'm just gonna pop Strife back up here. Infinite Crisis. There's a couple reasons that I didn't pick it as a primary game for us in 2015, and one of those reasons was that the future of it was kind of questionable. I didn't know if it was actually going to hang in there or not. And two is it was very lackluster in comparison to many of the other MOBAs that are out, especially for me in terms of the visuals. It was very gray and blue, and I don't know, I really like the idea of playing as the DC heroes and villains and all the different universes. That definitely really appeals to me, but at the time, like I said, it was very lackluster. However, they have been patching that game like crazy. I think they're really making a push towards trying to improve the game, and I am absolutely positive that it will definitely be the highlight of a Pioneer Night that probably we'll end up doing next month, just to check it all out again, which we have checked it out in the past before and played it together and things like that, and I can pretty confidently say that we'll probably end up playing it again next month, just because I have seen a lot of patches and updates for it. So it's always worth keeping an eye on these games. Just because they're not great at one point doesn't mean that they're not going to update and get way better.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you? Have you played it, Chilled?
No, I haven't. I never even heard of it until now. So definitely will be interesting to see what the gameplay's like.
It plays like everything else, really.
Yeah.
It's
Overview or third
top-down.
person?
Yeah, it's another top-down, like League of Legends. So, yeah, we'll be checking that out. So, last thing up, here in about 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, MOBA Monday. Come join us for some fun in Heroes of the Storm. And we'll be streaming that, won't we?
We might be. I'm going to say no for now. But there's always a chance. If there's someone there who can stream, we'll stream it. But for now, I believe Squigs is going to be heading this up for me. So if you want to play Heroes of the Storm with us, make sure you go ahead and add Squigs to your BattleNet. I'm going to give this out on stream. Ha ha ha. No, I won't. You guys can add me, Tsetzuko, hashtag 1850 on BattleNet, and I will get you guys hooked up with Squigs, who's going to be organizing things for me tonight for our MOBA Monday. Heroes of the Storm, so if you got access, come out and play, get that bonus, that XP bonus. So,
yeah, definitely worth it.
Squigs put it out there. He's Squigs86, hashtag 1190. Okay, anyway.
You don't care.
All right. So that's going to wrap it up for this month's Waveclear. Thanks for joining us. I will see you next month on the next Waveclear, and I want to send a special shout out to the guy right here on stream with me, Chilled, for being the first ever co-caster on Waveclear who wasn't my wife.
Thanks for having me. Definitely a lot of information tonight to process.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys for MOBA Monday here in about 15 minutes.
Bye, guys.